Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to ask me about Nerd City?
Yeah, that's what I...
Yeah, we might as well. We went through majority of the main...
Yeah.
You guys know what's gonna happen. We're all fucked, basically. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think we're all fucked. That's all right. First of all, I don't know if this is the doomsday that some people are saying it was. I think Quartering rage baited a little bit. Maybe Optimus did too. Again, no diss to either of those fellows. Everyone's making their money. I say worst case scenario, we're looking at like a. I base this off of nothing. This is just my guess. Like a 5 to 15% CPM drop across the board because we're going to be losing some advertisers. And most of them are probably not going to come back because of the situation here. Because they legally can't. And,
Nick 100K
oh, no, they legally can. They just can't do it on kids' content. So those ads would move around, right?
Thank you, Mike the Bike. That's funny.
Alright, yeah, so it doesn't seem... I don't think this is going to be the fucking doomsday, not the 90% number everyone's saying it's going to be. But, like... The fact that the government is getting involved in this is just outrageous. You're looking at all these situations. You got like the Matt's What It Is situation. You got the Ryan's Toy Review situation. But the one that really stands out to me is the one that we went directly to Nerd City before he posted the video. I actually didn't know about it at the time. But I do know Tommy had a conversation with him. And I do know Tommy asked him straight up to his face, are you afraid of this going on? And I'm not going to delve too deep into that. If Tommy wants to talk about that, he's willing to do it. But as far as I know, I hope so. Otherwise, that would be a really mean thing for me to mention on the podcast right now. But it's just like, it's a point that I made immediately. And he was very like if you watch the stream that on Shot from the Point, he was very like...
F the FTC, screw those FTC laws.
I hate that so much. Yeah, he was very confrontational about it, and I'm just saying, like, there is nothing about that, like, what Jake Paul was doing that's worthy of bringing in the fucking, like, the legal teams for. The worst thing that Jake Paul did was the sexual stuff. Can we agree on that front? That the sexual stuff, the incest jokes with the mother, that was probably the most damning part of...
I forgot about all that. I went back to rewatch, like, a little bit of his video today, and that's, like, all the section I saw. I was like, Jesus, dude, this guy is, like, this guy's insane. What the fuck?
I hate how every single person on this list is only talking about Ethan Klein right now. I'm looking at the chat to see what about over there.
Wait, what's chat?
But yeah, like you see, the three major points that stuck out to me from that video was the broadcasting one, which I think was very what's the word? It was very possible to miss the point of what he was saying because he wasn't very clear on it, and it was the top of his description. The second one was the advertisements, and the third one was the incest thing. I think the incest thing was the best point. The problem I have is when you go to the broadcasting thing and you're starting to bring out these big laws, these FCC guidelines, these FTC guidelines, you're talking about a platform that you're not on. You're talking about what's illegal to broadcast on television, and if you don't make that clear, a lot of people were coming away from that video thinking that Jake Paul was breaking the law back then. It's something that he fundamentally denies, and when he was asked about it, he said, why are you guys focusing on this? Why don't you watch the rest of the video? That's an actual quote from what he said. Because that's the top line of your description, because that's the opening point you make, and because when you start your intro, you go, Jake Paul's vlogs are flat out against the law! It's a broadcast in the United States and Canada. But, like, it's just... and that's actually how it's done. It's ridiculous. So, when you're sitting here and you got a nice T-bone steak in your hand, and you're waving it in front of that dog in the cartoon show, and the dog bites it out and spits the fucking bone onto the ground, that's what happens here. What Nerd City did is... And he's not 100% responsible. Those other people I mentioned before, they're also responsible for this. It's not just him. But you're basically taking the fucking yellow flag and waving it in front of a raging bull. I mean, the bull might come at you and swing anyway because the bull's raging, but you're directing him where to go. You're giving him an opportunity. You're pointing him. Hey, look here, fish in a barrel. Fuck us. Come, fuck us, please, fuck us. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand that video. And the advertising stuff is fucking ridiculous. Because all the people on Twitter who's had anything to say about this has either said I've been framing Nerd City, which I have not been doing. I'm not going to give Ultra Joe too much of a...
like, framing Nerd City?
Yeah, I'm not going to give Ultra Joe too much shit here, because I do genuinely think he's pissed off that I'm just saying anything about Nerd City, and I understand that. Not many people do talk shit about Nerd City. I understand that's something that's not the most popular line of thinking, but, like, I'm not framing the guy. I'm saying that I think a portion of the blame for this situation, if it goes off the rails, because we don't even know yet, would fall on his shoulders, because he started the discussion that spawned most of this shit.
Yeah. I would agree. And to give context to what we're talking about, because I don't know if we brought it up specifically on the podcast yet, and if people don't know about the situation, they might be a little lost here, is that a year ago Nerd City uploaded this video about Jake Paul being a danger to kids, and this kind of kickstarted a conversation generally within the public, because this video got 2 million views, right? So it kickstarted this conversation of what is a danger to kids advertising wise on YouTube. And then this was continued, obviously, with the Matt's What It Is situation with the pedophiles in the comment section, which led to YouTube disabling the comments on child-centric videos. And now it's gone to the point where now the FTC is getting involved. So the argument being made here is why the fuck did Nerd City make this video when there was a high chance of the FTC, seeing this shit and being okay, time to crack down, which is the bull analogy that...
and he said he wasn't worried about that at the time. But listen, again, if you really think the kids need to be saved, that's one thing. But to sit here and play a moral high ground, I had to make that video on Jake Paul. Sure, make whatever fucking videos you want. I'm not going to criticize you for making a fucking video. But, it's really not what everyone thinks it was. Looking at this, I got a message just now from Max Pigeon, and I don't want to just single Max Pigeon out, because it's been coming at me from every possible angle. Pigeon. Well, Max Pigeon it's one of the right opinion editors. No, it's one of the right opinion editors. So I'm gonna use this one. He says
Max Pigeon is a right opinion editor.
Apparently, it says it in his bio. Maybe he's a false editor, bro. All right, it says there are advertisement laws for a reason, and I believe either way, it's going to catch up to YouTube. Plus, there are different child exploitations going on YouTube. Regulation is needed. YouTube just has to find a way to regulate it without overreacting. Okay. So there's so much wrong with this fucking tweet that I'm reading right now. First of all, there are advertisements for laws for a reason. This is about the 5th time I've gotten this in the past 3 hours. Nobody has given me a fucking reason. Everyone's just saying, guys, there are laws for a reason. It would be anarchy without them. Well, what would happen? Tell me what would happen. Genuine question. What would happen in the situation? Let's use Jake Paul, because that's the standing example. If Jake Paul's allowed to put 50% advertisements in his video, what's going to happen to the kids? Oh, they're going to have to ask their parents for the mom's credit card, or the mom's and the family credit card has gotten into that child's hands. Whose fucking fault is that? It's not Jake Paul, it's the parents. Because if you leave your kid in front of a fucking iPad 9,000 hours a day, and you give him a credit card to bottomless spend on, that's not my fucking fault for making a video, dude. And I believe either way, it's going to catch up to YouTube. Plus, there are different child exploitations going on YouTube. What the fuck does that mean? What are the different child exploitations going on? Is that a Dig It reaction commentary? Are you pretending that the Wake Up YouTube pedophile ring is a real pedophile ring? Because it's not. It's a bunch of people writing comments in a comment section. He did not find a fucking pedophile ring. YouTube has to find a way to regulate it without overreacting. Well, thanks to people who wanted to make this a fucking public issue, YouTube now no longer has to find a way to regulate it because the government's doing it for them. And when the government gets into the platform, the government is not leaving the platform. That's it. We're here. This is where we are.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And it's just concerning because we just don't know what's going to happen.
If you get a $42,000 fucking fine from the FCC, no trusted flagger is getting that removed.
Yeah. It's just, man, I just missed when you were able to upload to YouTube.
Yeah, say whatever you want. Yeah, this is what Nerd City said. It's an ethical issue that child advertising laws were put into place in the 80s when every show on TV was a toy commercial. That's the problem. Channels like Ryan's Toy Reviews are a toy commercial. All of his videos that are sponsored and they're given through, that is a fucking commercial. Channels like that, okay, I totally get it. Jake Paul is not a walking commercial. He sells merchandise. If we were paid correctly as creators, then we wouldn't have to rely so much on merchandise. There was a time on this fucking platform where buying shirts and hats and shit were frowned upon because in 2016 we were making so much ad revenue. No wonder Patreons are so common now. They weren't before. You literally weren't allowed to have those.
I used to hate on Patreon. I used to hate on Patreon back.
So now people found a way to fucking make money, and because some kids who aren't even old enough to use the site in the first place are getting their hands on those items, now suddenly the government's got to step in. Listen, motherfuckers, 13-year-old kids aren't supposed to be here. Why are we regulating for kids who aren't supposed to be on the website?
Yeah, you literally aren't allowed to have a YouTube account under the age of 13. Why are we having laws?
Yeah, it's easier to watch porn than find a fucking video that's damaging on this console. This fucking platform.
On this platform, I would agree with that.
It's easier for a kid to fucking watch porn. The child has to know it's an ad. Yeah, that's. I mean, he's saying buy my thing, and it says Jake Paul on it. It's a fucking ad. Listen, I'm sorry, the kid. If you tell a kid, hey, listen, you gotta buy my hoodie, it'll make all the girls like you. Or they watch one of those deodorant commercials, and all the girls start sprinting out of the locker room, and they go, "Holy fuck, that does that?" Then maybe your kid should be in special education classes, because that's not how the fucking world works.
It's not.
Hey, dude, special ad's pretty cool. I wasn't it. No, dude.
That's what Bowblax thinks is gonna happen when he hits 100,000 subs. It's just women are just gonna.
What? Dude, life isn't a GoDaddy commercial that you watch on the Super Bowl and think it's a porn website, and you find out it's a fucking website builder. By the way, that's a true story.
What the fuck, Nick?
What? Excuse me, are you telling me you didn't watch those GoDaddy commercials? It's a website. Wait, you build websites on that fucking thing, and it would have girls just like about to take off their shirt, and it would go on to the next fucking thing. That's what it was. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, when an advertisement pops up on a video, it's a commercial. It's no different than the fucking television.
Listen, at least the kids are safe, alright?
Yeah.
That's the fucking fundamental problem here. Is I don't see how kids are in danger. I don't. What did the '80s also bring? Burn the Catcher in the Rye. Kill John Lennon. There's some things in the '80s that could stay in the fucking '80s.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, honestly, I felt like Nerd City just made that video to make a Jake Paul expose video, and then he just went a little too far with it. Like,
I don't even think he went far with it. I don't think the points he made were as good as like the way he.
Yeah, like he didn't need to make.
Everyone else thinks. I don't think he could totally make those. It's just. I don't want to say don't make the video. That's not what I want to say, and I also don't want to place all the blame on him. I've been very clear across the board that I don't place all the blame on him. I'm just saying. Don't sit here and say, that's not what I was trying to do. Don't sit here and go, I wasn't trying to get this thing fixed. I wasn't trying to protect the kids. Don't turn around and go, oh, maybe the regulation isn't a bad thing. I almost think there might even be a clip of him saying regulation wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't remember for sure. I'm going to have to go back and watch the stream. But,
yeah, but even if he said that regulation is a bad thing, he's giving them the fire to start, regulating the content. And what do we see a year after he posts it? Now all of a sudden,
the thing is, if he genuinely believes that, and he should stand by it. He shouldn't come out and go, well, I'm so sorry. Not even like, I didn't do that. No, if he wanted this to be regulated, he should come out and say, I wanted it to be regulated. Then it's just his opinion, and I could disagree with it.